What if I told you the plot of Final Fantasy VIII you remembered as a child isn't actually what happened? In a world ruled by a sorceress and twisted by time magic, the true leader could have been Seifer, charismatic, decisive, unstoppable, and he probably would have been the hero too, if his death wasn't planned from the start. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Time compression. Final Fantasy VIII wasn't the first to toy with this idea. In fact, think back to when you were a child. Waiting for 5 minutes in class felt like hours. Now I hit the snooze button on my alarm, that ish feels like 5 seconds. Time feels different depending on how we experience it. And in Final Fantasy VIII, this isn't just perception, it's baked into the world itself. But we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. Why was Seifer introduced so early and side by side our main character? No other Final Fantasy has done this. Seifer isn't just a rival, he's a mirror showing us what leadership could look like. His confidence, his decisiveness screams authority. He challenges Squall, pushes him, makes him grow, yet he's never allowed to take center stage, and for good reason. Early on, the game positions him as the obvious choice to lead. Look, I wasn't a fan of his from the start. I thought he was kind of a douche, but the qualities he brings to the table, he just exudes a certain level of je ne sais quoi. But the story teases his leadership ability right up to the Dalit mission, where he abandons his team, leaving them in danger, and suddenly our idea of this brave, confident leader is shattered for Squall to pick up the pieces. Squall never asked for it, Seifer wanted it too badly, and in that desire, we see exactly why one succeeds and the other fails. And here's where it starts to get unsettling. Seifer doesn't just disappear from the game, he has his entire arc, mostly hidden from our view completely. The Knight, the right hand of Sorceress Adea, which means through proxy, he had already come into contact with Ultimecia. Everyone who's finished Final Fantasy VIII remembers that final scene. Raijin, Fujin and Seifer quietly fishing at Fisherman's Horizon. A moment of peace, or at least that's how we remember it. Seifer's final scene isn't at Fisherman's Horizon like many remember, including myself. It's Balamb, the same town he once helped invade, the same town he's a wanted criminal, yet here he is, smiling, fishing, under clear skies. Almost as if none of it ever happened. But that's the thing about time compression. It doesn't just bend reality, it rewrites it. So what if this scene isn't real at all? What if it's just a memory? One last echo of who Seifer wanted to be. That would explain why his story just stops. No closure, no redemption, just this strangely peaceful image that shouldn't exist. Maybe this isn't an ending, it's denial. A dream held together by a mind that never made it out. Because when time breaks, maybe reality fills in the blanks with what we wish were true. And in Seifer's case, maybe this is it. The dream he kept talking about. A quiet life in Balamb with his two closest friends, frozen in a moment that was never meant to exist. If this really is Seifer's dream, when did it begin? Did he die when we last saw him? Or did something else happen? The world tells us he's gone. Rinoa even asks, he was executed? But then we see Fujin and Raijin talking about him like nothing happened. No body, no proof, just people remembering him. And somehow, he's still around. But maybe this isn't the Seifer that we thought before. Maybe time got twisted, compressed, folded in on itself. And what we're seeing now is a different Seifer. A Seifer who isn't angry, isn't ambitious, isn't chasing Squall. A Seifer who finally got what he wanted. Peace, friends, fishing in Balamb. A life he could never have in the real timeline, but somehow exists anyway. Final Fantasy VIII isn't just a story within a video game. It's a story about all of us, about the moments we hold on to and the ones we let slip away. How much of our lives are just echoes of what we wish were true? How often do we remember someone or a moment and fill in the blanks with our own dreams? Seifer's peaceful life in Balamb might not be real, but it exists in someone's memory, in someone's mind. Just like how we hold on to moments from our past, polishing them, rewriting them, making them better than they were. And the question is, does it matter if the version we remember never actually happened? We do it with people, with moments, with ourselves. We fill in the gaps with what we wanted and what we hoped for. And maybe that's what makes life bearable. Seeing someone for all of their glory over time rather than their flaws. Seifer's life in Balamb might never have even existed, but it exists somewhere in memory, in possibility. And maybe that's enough, because sometimes the version of reality we carry with us is the only one that truly matters.